I did not think it would come to the point where I would say this, but in a way, this week has been bland, quite frankly. It's been sort of tasteless because there's been a lot of emphasis on shipping. And it's wild at this point. As at last week, the previous week, and week one, yes, there was a bit of an emphasis on shipping, but it came with strategic shipping. But this week, I don't know, things have just really been dragging, and guys, I can't take it anymore. It's beginning to drag. It's like that is now the content of, you know, the season moving forward, and I can only but wait for Sunday for the live eviction show to see how, you know, to see if there's going to be any new twist or anything that's going to rekindle, you know, my excitement for the show. But I don't know what's happening. There's just been too much emphasis of late on shipping, especially with regards to this thing that is happening with Onyeka, Ozee, and you know, what's her name now? Victoria One, you know, the birth of that triangle. It's like there's just so much emphasis right there. Like, we have to, by all means, be a part of it. I mean, guys, I don't know. I would love to hear your thoughts about it. Aside that, the housemates have just received a brief for their individual punishment, yes, for all the infringements and all the rules that they have been breaking this season. I am still yet to understand what type of rules they've been breaking this season, since the rule book was not mentioned right from the day of the launch show, you know, for us, the viewers, to be aware even that there's a rule book that will be, you know, implemented for this season. I don't know. Things have just been scattered in a way. I don't know what's going on. Aside microphone infringements, what rules did they break? I mean, yes, I remember, you know, Big Brother's complaints about their tardiness, you know, their defiance, the way they drag feet, their microphone infringement, you know, and their disregard for his authority, right? Ever since the show started, Big Brother mentioned all of those things on Friday in the arena after he had failed them, or before he failed them for their wager task presentation. So I get all of that, but there's been so many other rules that these housemates have broken. So the punishment that he is actually briefing them about today, I'm wondering, like, okay, is it to cover all the rules that they have broken? And if yes, what rules exactly did they break? So ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, things have just been, you know, precarious. I think that's a better word. Things have just been precarious, and it's at this point, it's not really making sense anymore. But anyways, in this video, we're going to focus on the conversations that happened from this morning to the early hours of the afternoon between Wanni and Onyeka. Then there was Onyeka and Shaun, yes, and there was also Ozee and Onyeka. Yes, the camera has been mostly on Onyeka today. So today is Onyeka's day in Big Brother's house. For the most part of today, we've been following Onyeka around with a camera. So I'm wondering if that is going to be the case for every other housemate every other day moving forward. Anyways, we're going to get into this video, but first, you're especially welcome to my channel. My name is Gloria Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah, and I am the girl with the tea. Quick reminder to all of you, tomorrow is Saturday. So by 3 p.m. WAT, we're going to be converging here for our YouTube live conversation, our community gathering. I look forward to seeing all of you. So please make it a date with us. Come through. Do not miss out. There is a lot I would love for us to discuss. All right. Yeah. And guys, please do not forget to like my video. It is a very major indication that you enjoy my content. So please like my video and subscribe if you are yet to. Now, quickly, let's proceed with the rest of this video. So first, beginning with Wanni and Onyeka's conversation. It happened this morning. Now, note that the housemates had a late night yesterday. These people did not sleep until I think about 4 a.m. and then they had a very late start to their day. After their workout session, they had slept because they did not sleep well last night. So they had slept and their day did not start until almost brunch time, yes. And so Wanni and Onyeka's conversation, it turns out that Wanni is very much uncomfortable with Onyeka's closeness to Shaun. And guys, we know how Onyeka has been very deliberate about provoking people in ships in the house. You know, she completely disregards time, place, boundaries, completely disregards the mood. of the hour. You know, she invades their privacy and she forms friendships with every single guy that is in the ship in the house, you know. And so she's fully much aware of how it rubs off wrongly on the females that are partnered with these guys, but then she goes ahead to do it, which in my opinion is a very interesting strategy, because at the end of the day, nobody came with anybody to Big Brother's house aside their own partnered pair that they came into the show with, right? But then there is also the part where Wanni ex Ndi are very close to Onyeka. They have this great and solid friendship, yes. And it became a struggle for Wanni because she did not know how to navigate that. Every time she has a conversation with Shaun, Shaun would not handle it properly. Shaun would lash out at her and, you know, accuse her of being insecure and jealous and all whatnot. And so she decided to have a conversation about it with her friend, Onyeka. So she turned it into a conversation about her past traumas, about how she had dated someone before, and she exhibited a lot of jealousy and insecurities, almost turning herself into a control freak. Yes, according to her, all of these are stemming from her past trauma, all the struggles that she's been through in life, you know, and so there's always a need for her to be possessive, yes. And it amplifies itself, those traits amplifies in her when she's under the influence of alcohol. And so yesterday, during the pool party, she was under the influence of alcohol. And so she had noticed how Onyeka and Shaun were, you know, in very, very inappropriate positions, and she had not taken it lightly. And Shaun had not even helped matters in trying to reassure her of anything. Instead, Shaun was typical Shaun, you know, lashing out at her and getting all defensive and aggressive, like, oh, what do you want me to do? So you don't want me to talk to any other person again? Oh, because I'm with you in this house, you know, that kind of thing. So she had turned it into that type of stories that touch the heart session with Onyeka, forgetting her emotions and letting Onyeka into a dark past relationships. And Onyeka had been typical Onyeka by, you know, consoling her friend and advising her to learn to forgive the people that have hurt her in the past so that she'll be able to enjoy her present relationship with Shaun and move on with her life. So Onyeka had really advised her, which I totally appreciated, because, I mean, what was Wanni expecting Onyeka to do? So they had that conversation, and the conversation did not end in the garden. The conversation had extended to the toilet, where Wanni was getting overly emotional and she kept on purgating her emotions, purgating, and Onyeka kept on consoling, sympathizing, and advising. Now, whilst we were having that conversation, the guys in the room with Shaun, they were discussing it, and it seemed like Shaun was finding it amusing. You know, he was finding it amusing that Wanni was getting quite emotional, and they were asking him about his relationship with Onyeka, and he was like, well, that it's not going to change. You know, it's not going to change that Wanni has to deal with it. It's not going to change. The fact that he's with her does not mean he's not going to be friends with any other female in the house. So it's not going to change. She has to deal with it. And so that conversation happened, and frankly speaking, guys, I was livid. I was livid with Wanni. Onyeka did nothing wrong in that situation. I mean, she did what any friend would do, any caring friend would do. You know, she tried to reassure her friend that there was nothing going on between herself and Shaun, even in the midst of sympathizing with her on her past struggles and trauma. But I was really livid with Wanni, because I kept on asking myself, what does Shaun have to do to finally prove to Wanni that he's only using her for the game? I mean, there's a possibility that she is also using him for the game, but she tends to be more emotionally and physically invested in that relationship than Shaun. Every time the camera shows these two people, you would definitely see that, I mean, it's very obvious that the scale is not balanced. Wanni's own attachment and involvement in that relationship literally tips off the scale, or rather the balance, of Shaun's own investment. Shaun's investment is 0.1%. Wanni's one is about 99.1% or 99.8%. It is that bad. I mean, guys, it's the absolute disregard for Wanni's feelings for me. And Shaun does not give an actual fuck about it. He doesn't. Because guess what? After that whole emotional session with Onyeka carried the conversation she had with Wanni, went to go and regurgitate everything to Shaun, told Shaun everything. And you know, there's this thing Onyeka does when she's having conversations with guys in the house, right? This girl revels in this delusion of grandeur. She revels in this thing in her head that tells her that, oh, she's the most desirable female housemate in the house. And so she's the biggest threat, or rather the only threat to all the ships in the house. So if she wants to have any guy in the house, she can have any guy in the house because she's got a big booty and she's got big boobs. That's what, I mean, these are words from Onyeka's mouth, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not misconstruing anything. She believes that, oh, because she's got natural bum, she did not do BBL, she's the most desirable female housemate in the house. She could literally be in any ship with anybody that she wants, but she doesn't want to be in any ship. But that does not mean that she cannot be friends with any of the guys. So in a conversation with Shaun, while she was, you know, regurgitating the details of her own conversation with Wanni, she was still going about that narrative that she has cooked up for herself, that she keeps spreading around the house to all the guys, you know. And according to Shaun, this is the time that they should even increase the closeness of their relationship. Because Onyeka was telling him that, oh, if I had known, if I knew that it was going to cause a problem, I would not have been this close to you. Oh, if I had known, oh, for instance, now look at Suj. Suj was saying that we don't talk anymore. And I told him that, he needs to put his foot down because Nelly is complaining about me being close to him. You know, she keeps creating these scenarios, right? Which, to be quite honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, I find quite interesting. You know, it's like creating this reverse psychology. Nobody desires Onyeka in the house, to be quite honest, aside the Mbadiwe twins that she's got her thing going on with, yes. Every other guy in the house, there's no certainty and there's no declaration that they actually desire Onyeka in the way she paints it to be. But her spreading such a narrative, it causes some sort of disruption in the house, and it causes some sort of, you know, unsettlement in the house, right? And it causes the females to question the loyalty of the guys that they are in a relationship with. So it's not really like they feel Onyeka is a threat. No, they do not see her as a threat. They see this person as a nuisance that does not regard people's time. She does not read the room. She does not understand boundaries, or it's either she understands boundaries and just deliberately ignores it, you know, just to provoke people. And she's been doing that back to back. And so for every time she doesn't really get the reaction she wants, she intensifies the, you know, the promotion of that narrative that she created by herself, you know. And as I said before, it's a very interesting strategy. But then the fans need to learn. Now, when Shaun was encouraging Onyeka that they needed to amplify their closeness, their relationship, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing that came to mind was Shaun is definitely looking for ways to trigger Wanni. He's been doing it, and he intends to amplify it. And this is the game we're talking about. Shipping as a strategy. Shaun is not in that situationship because he adores Wanni. He's not with Wanni because he loves her. He doesn't. He has identified the strength that she's got with regards to references from previous seasons, right? He has also identified that this girl and her twin sister are possible threats to his game. They are strong contenders in the game. So it's like keeping your enemies closer. He has kept Wanni closer. He understands her triggers. He understands what completely messes her up. And he's planning on intensifying those triggers. And he's been doing it successfully. So him telling Onyeka that they needed to get closer, that moving forward they needed to, you know, intensify their closeness and their relationship, that's like indirectly conspiring with Onyeka, you know, to do more things that will provoke Wanni. And there's a possibility that one day she's going to overreact and then she might get disqualified. So Shaun is playing the game, still on Onyeka. There was a conversation between Onyeka and Ozee this morning. These two people are still going on with their bestie disguise. oh bestie, I would have taken a bullet for you. Oh bestie, you don't listen to me when I talk. All these are coming from Ozee. Oh, from Onyeka. Oh no, now it's not like that. Now I'm nominated now. Oh, I might be going home on Sunday, so today I'm going to be following you everywhere you go. That was what Onyeka said to Ozee. Now Ozee, on the other hand, you know, he's having this fun moment with Onyeka, but later on we see him with Victoria. And then later on in the kitchen, in the presence of Onyeka's sister Chizoba, they share a mouth, like a lip-to-lip kiss. In other words, a bestie-to-bestie type of kiss. So when they shared that lip-to-lip kiss, the first question that came to mind was, who is playing who here? Who is deceiving who here in this situationship? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop talking here right now because the story is not complete yet, right? The housemates are currently preparing for their wager task presentation that is set to happen this evening. So the story is not complete. Something tells me that there'll be more happening this evening. So I'm going to stop talking here right now. I would love to hear from all of you. Please go ahead and share your sentiment about this bestie-bestie situationship in disguise going on between Ozee and Onyeka. Go ahead and share your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on another video soon. Have an amazing evening. Bye.